name is Heather. I'm the Youth Program Director for the Community Fund of Darien. And I know you came to speak a couple years ago in Darien. And the driving force kind of behind having you come speak was the Youth Asset Team, which is one of our 2 high school programs. And this one focuses on mental health and substance abuse. And we're really fortunate today to have 2 of our wonderful seniors, Katie and Ethan. And I'm going to hand it over to Ethan, who has our first question for us.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Chris. I'm Ethan. I'm a senior at Darien High School.
Nice to meet you.
Let's just get started. All right. So I'm not sure how much you remember about Darien from the last time you were here. I think it was 3 years ago. But just to set the scene for our town, it's sort of a affluent community outside of New York City, if you remember that. Mm-hmm. And a student survey in 2018 found that 45% of juniors and 60% of seniors at our high school had consumed alcohol in the past 30 days. So what was the impact, or what was the environment like in Fall River where you grew up with substance abuse, and how did that impact you?
I think part of my adolescent and teenage years, weekend drinking was the norm. I think it was the norm for the circle of friends that I had. I often tell people, like, they ask me about the friendships that I had in high school, and I tell them I hung out with people that kind of made the same mistakes I made. That were doing the things that I was doing, because I didn't want to be reminded at 16 years old that, I was pretending to be someone else. I was, lying to my mother, minimizing some of the risk I was taking. But the culture that I grew up in, it was very accepted. But that's the scariest thing about alcoholism and addiction is nobody knows who has it, and nobody knows who's going to suffer from it. And I think we've done so little around the education around this topic that kids are just unaware. Was
there a moment you felt like it went from a recreational thing to a real problem and addiction?
I think in hindsight, right? I think looking back and being 15 years old and not being comfortable in my own skin, and, having to change myself on a Friday night to hang out with kids I went to kindergarten with. Mm-hmm. In hindsight, I look back on that and it kind of makes me somewhat sad. At what point did I lose the ability to be authentic? And how come I wasn't given the proper coping skills to deal with some of, the things I was dealing with as a young teenager?